What a wonderful day to talk about equity. So what people quite often don't understand is the difference between the lines that we have in equity. We have share capital. Can we use it to recognize, let's say, share options? Can we use that to recognize the part of convertible loan notes? No, we can't, because share capital is always nominal value times the quantity of shares in issue. So basically, it shows us at any point of time how many shares pretend on the dividends, how many shares will be taken into account to calculate earnings per share. So these are the shares that have been issued, that have been given to investors of our company. Also, we do have share premium. Share premium will always be the balancing transaction which happens on the day when you give someone your shares. So for example, if you received land for your shares, you debit land at fair value, you recognize share capital in the nominal value, and then you recognize share premium as the balancing figure. Retained earnings will always be just the accumulated profit, so whatever is in profit. There are some nuances, so for example, there would be some accounts that will be transferred later to retained earnings. So for example, if we have investments in debt securities that are carried at fair value through OCE, then on disposal we will take this portion of OCI accumulated and we will transfer it to retained earnings. But for the most part, retained earnings is just profit accumulated. OCI will be something that is not a regular income. Well, actually, it's a whole different story, but when we take the accumulated OCI to equity, we are going to recognize it not as retained earnings, but as reserves, as other components of equity. And if we promise someone shares, so for example, in case of convertible loan notes or in case of share options, then we would put it to the reserves, to other components of equity, not to share capital, not to share premium, and definitely not to retained earnings. So this is the difference between the equity parts, and I hope it has been useful.